Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 256 of Kouryer podcast. Our today's guest is Mr. Zhoslen Makoev. He's a concept designer and cinematic concept artist based in Valencia, Spain. And of course, in the caption, you can find the ID to his Instagram account, the links to his art station and YouTube, which if you're into 3D environment arts or making it under cinematics or just working and just seeing just good, pretty goodness, just go there. Just go to the link, YouTube link down there. And with that out of the way, how are we doing today?
Thank you very much that you invited me. My pleasure to be here. Right now I'm in Valencia in Spain. We are busy. We are working on some different projects, and especially in big, medium, small right now. It looks like that.
All right. All right. So actually, let's start with the signature and main question of the podcast, where I start off, with every episode with, which is give us a little introduction on how you got into the world of visual arts and design. Basically, tell us your origin story of how you became an artist. What happened that you decided that I want to become an artist as a career?
I think it comes from the childhood because. I remember when even I was a kid, when I was, I love to draw something, my mother, our good artist, was, and she is, I think it was from that time, and after that I started urban planning and architecture in the university, and from that point I start to get into the CG and 3D and this things. So I think it's something which I enjoyed when I started architecture and urban planning. I see how you can do some stuff in 3D and how it works, and I enjoyed it. So I decided just get involved in this process more and more, and I dive it into the different software. And in the 2014. I took the courses from the Kouryer, and there I started to started my way to the CG, to the concept art, and more. And I started to work into the animation studio, into the VFX studios, game studios. a lot of studios, not a lot of, but a lot of things happen. Yeah, that's something like that. Yeah.
Are you said 2013, right?
Sorry.
You said 2013. You started to learn sport classes. Is that correct?
2014. I start to change my. How to thinking about the CG, but Kouryer started the courses, I think, in 2015. They started their first 4 courses. It was courses from Zhoslen Makoev, Anthony Jones, Maciej Kouryer, and Ashtor. And there was my favorite artist, which is Jama. I decided I should took his courses and move on, push myself into this process. Yeah, just like that.
All right.
Yeah, but before I did some stuff. I created some arts, but it was not so. It doesn't have a strong direction, it was just, I just do this art and, for some likes. But into Kouryer, I decided to somehow combine all of my skills and push it in the right direction. It was like that, yeah.
All right. And like when we were in high school, like when we were a little bit younger, and those are usually the time that people usually think about their future and what their job is going to be in the future, what university, major, like, subject they should major in, like, how was that for you? Did you were pursuing another plan, and you thought to yourself, maybe art isn't safe and I'll have art on the side, or from the beginning you knew that you just wanted to go art, or what happened? Did you even go to college? Like, what was that stage of your life? How did that go?
Yeah, as I said before, I think when I started graduated architecture and urban planning, and when I started to involve into the process of creating some art, in this university, we have a lot of discipline, which is linked with drawing, with the painting, and some composition, and it just helped me to understand that. You can, for example, do some stuff in 3D. Yeah, you can present your architecture in 3D into 3ds Max. I don't know. You can create some renders. And when I started to do this stuff, I saw how deep this, I would say, the rabbit hole on this industry, and you can do everything, and you can do everything what you imagine. And I think about this. It's cool, and it's I can I'd say I don't know how to explain it correctly, but yeah, I think it was the point when the university was a point when I decided to be more as an artist in CGI. But before, why I decided to be an architecture, it was the reason why I love art, I love the history, I love this museum architecture, everything which is linked with the art. I really love it, and it's the reason why I decided to be in architecture. At that point, when I was a student, when I was in school, I didn't know about the CGI, nothing, absolutely. I didn't know about what is it, the concept art, what's going on there. I know that some guys make a 3D and they do it for games, because when I was in school, I played games. I played in different computer games, and but I thought it's really so deep, and it's so hard. It's I don't know. I didn't have another. I'd say I didn't know about that, nothing. Yeah. And then I started to be an architecture. When I was a student, I started meeting with this discipline more and more. And after I finished I finished university, I just decided that I should dive into CGI and be an artist. Yeah, like that.
All right. And well, in the introduction, I mentioned that you're a concept designer and cinematic concept artist mainly, but now I want you to know right now, like, throughout your journey, like of becoming an artist right now, like what you've become by now, what led you to choose these fields, like to make them your main branch of design and art that you want to focus on? And also tell us about your experience of working as a concept designer and also a concept artist from the start of it until now. How has the journey been for you?
I think that there is a lot of complex things, because I desire to dive into the cinematics stuff and do some films and a lot of things, even when I was a student. No, but I don't have the opportunity, because there's the computers, or I know this technical stuff which I had at this time. It's it really costs a lot of money, and you should have some the best computer to make something. It was really hard to make something in real time. But when real time started to develop and create some more accessibility, and you can just download Unity or Unreal and start doing some stuff in real time. I decided to just apply all of my skills and whatever I've got into this issue and start to push myself into this discipline more and more. When you don't need to think about the render setup and something, you can do it everything in real time. It's easier to show all your stuff, create some renders, make it live like that. But when if we talk about how I come to this, like the point by point, I think it's it's a little bit complicated to talk a lot about things that happen, because I started as a concept artist for the environment, and then I moved into it was animation studio. Then I moved into the fix studio when I worked in the Matte Painter. It was one of the hard time to me, because I have a dream to be a part of some of the fix studios, but when I saw how it's not, especially for me, honestly, it wasn't interesting to be like a Matte Painter or doing some Photoshop stuff and trying to match some shots for the films. I really wish to do something on my side, like be in a like a director, for my for my stuff. And I saw how a lot of steps you need to do to come to this into the let's say into the traditional way. When you doing everything into the render, then you need to do a compositing into Nuke, and a lot of different steps. I really wish, again, I just repeat that move everything into real time. And into 2017, I started to dive into Unity, and from that point, I started to use the Unity. Then I switched into Unreal, and it happened like that. I just desired to be more flexibility with the picture. It sounds like that. Yeah, I hope I answered in your question. If it's not, you can say what exact I should say. Yeah.
No, actually, that was actually good.
Okay.
Now here's the next interesting thing that I'm actually really been waiting to ask you is, how does your design process usually go anytime you want to start working on a new design project? Like, from what I've seen, of course, a lot of your projects, like the Pit Stop or the Dust 1.6 little map, all this were just utilizing the packs from Big Medium Small, right? And I think where Big Medium Small excels in is the handcrafted, like very detailed, like assets, like and of course, what I want to know is, how does your design process usually go anytime you want to start working on a new piece or project? Like, basically, what's the structure of your pipeline look like? Like, when you want to, like, for example, work on an environment or a piece, what steps do you usually take? What has been your workflow that's been consistently giving you results?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think again, it's one of the complex things. If you want to make just the art, you want to do some maybe series of art. It's enough to make some blockouts and just paint over or put some photos there. But if we talk about my last works, like a Pit Stop or Dust and so on, I just was involved in the process of creating these assets I was a director in some points. I was an artist in in another point, and I just really wish to present these assets and present it in the. For example, if we talk about the dust, I really wish to present it like we can do not just cinematics, or we can or art. We can do even something which is like a demo gameplay with the gameplay, and it looks like a game. It not looks like a game. It's totally the game you can play into this. Yeah. It was the reason why I do it. But if we talk about the design and how everything has happened, I just enjoyed on the. I inspire myself from the different artists, from the films, from the games, from the life, and trying to bring it into my work. That's it. Yeah, and I use right now. I use the big and small assets more and more, because I see the ability and how it's easier to catch and to show what you imagine instead of create everything from scratch and trying to join one vertexes to another and build from everything. Of course, I'm involved in this process when we're doing these assets, and I know how it's happened, and I know the pipeline and everything. What I need. But I wish to show my vision quickly and without spending a lot of time on that. Yeah, I guess.
All right. I nearly forgot to unmute myself for a second. I don't even notice that, but yeah. And by the way, about the Counter-Strike map, from what I've read from the captions on your ArtStation post of it, there's a playable demo on bigmediumsmall.com, right?
It's a playable demo which I decided to create when Grand Bazaar assets are released. Yes, and in the first in the beginning, I wish to do it like an art, just for. It's a map which is really, the map which is familiar with each other in the world. I think so, because it's so famous. I think it's a most of the famous map for the 3D shooter game. Yeah, and I just decided. I just really wish to remake this map, but. When I get into the Unreal more and more, I just think why I cannot do it like a game. I can use my experience, because before I worked with Lyra, I can integrate into the Dust and do it like a playable game, playable demo. It will be a good promotion for the assets for the big menu small. Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah, and now when I think about it, actually, I remember there was someone who made like an oil painting of like a screenshot of a Counter-Strike map from the Dust map. And I'm thinking about something right now, something that I think has been going on for a while. Like, I'm not a genius for coming up with this, but if there's any like classical medium, artists out there, that they're working with traditional mediums like charcoal, pencil, oil painting, acrylic, doesn't matter. Like, making like art in that medium, but with modern subjects. Like, imagine a screenshot of a Halo map, but with oil painting. I'm sure if it's a really good oil painting work, someone will pay really good money to put that on their living room or their work. Yeah. Just think about it for a second. Like, that's actually such a good idea. So if anyone's listening, there you go. You got yourself a new $1,000 idea right there. And because if you think about it, this video games and stuff like that are relatively new subjects. So if you mix that with the contrast of the traditional medium, it's kind of interesting,
Yeah.
Wait, how was the reverse of it? Oh, never mind. The reverse already happened, of course, doing that, like, oil painting, painterly stuff on each Photoshop and it's just stuff like that. Yeah, you can literally do anything right now with Photoshop. So yeah, I already got my answers.
Yeah, right now you can do it even in Midjourney now.
Oh God, don't even get me started on that. Jesus. Oh, like, I'm just gonna mention this. Like, the really funny thing for me with that Soul AI thing is, like, sure, I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand we live in a capitalistic world. Money is really important. And given the chance, I think, I don't know about you, but, all of us would, for good reasons, might even sell out and just do things that we might not be proud about, but just, to make money. Like, I'm talking about NFTs, I'm talking about, AI and stuff like that, because we live in a capitalistic world. Money makes a huge difference. But at the same time, what's really funny to me is that it's really a lot of people panicked when they saw like the AI thing, which of course is they rightfully to some extent it's justifiable. But to me, it showed that people who just got into art for the fantasy of becoming a successful money-making artists and people who just genuinely enjoyed art, genuinely wanting to express themselves. And I'm not saying this to be judgmental or say, oh, I'm better than other people. No. The point is, for me, is that people should, take this as a sign and reevaluate their decisions that why they're in art. Are they enjoying art? Or if they're not enjoying art, maybe it's not that they don't like art, maybe it's the way they approach it is wrong. Because in the end of the day, arts should be an outlet for people to express themselves to an extent. It will be kind of like an extension of their personality. Maybe this sounds really pretentious, what I'm saying, because we're just, trying to get in the industry and make money and just be another cog in the machine of the company. But at the end of the day, I don't know, maybe I, as someone who really has always liked art since I was a kid, I wanted to leave a mark from myself, like, put an extension of myself, out there with that painting, with, I don't know, making a charcoal drawing on a wall, or something like that. It's something, I think it's something really human, What do you think about that?
This AI topic is one of the complicated to me things, because I don't have my opinion. I listen different people what they say, and one guy say that, man, it's the future, it's the stuff which is I agree, it's the future. Everything was happening tomorrow, and what happened, it's the future, even not tomorrow, today. And I think the main point of how you use it and how you present it, I mean, can we say that AI is it art? AI art, is it art, for example? It's a big question, yeah. I don't have answers.
That's fine.
I don't wish to how to say,
participate in this conversation.
Yes, but I even cannot say honestly, is it art? Or I not think it's totally in that meaning which we know all this. If we look back, we know what is art. Yeah, probably it's not in that field. Yeah, but I think in the future it will be something like. Right now we are working in Photoshop, doing some CGI stuff, and we are thinking who is working into this computer graphics, that everything what we're doing for the 3D sculpting, 2D Photoshop, we are call it like art. And I think in the future AI will be like something like that, because if you ask the man who is painting like for the oil, or make a pencil drawing, and he's a truly traditional man, and you say, hey, I'm doing some stuff in Photoshop and it's art, you say, man, fuck off. It's not the art that I want. And I think it will happen in all our life while we existing this conversation. What is art? What's not art? I think the most important thing is enjoy what you're doing. If you enjoy it and you're doing it good, it doesn't matter if it looks really cool. I know it's absolutely, I'd say, it's hard to make this to discuss what is cool, what is not. But if the big part of your community like what you're doing and you're doing it through the AI, I know. Even if you create it from the wood, I don't know, from the stone, it doesn't matter if it's beautiful and people are inspired by that. It's cool. I think so. It's my opinion, but okay.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
guess Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit hard to discuss about the AI because it's happened literally yesterday, and I think we should to dive into this process a little bit more and take a look what's going on there. Yeah, maybe like that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you as well, but I think your whole situation is kind of like, where there's like a table full of people like trying to, they're having dinner, then suddenly a fight happens, people start food fight, throwing food at each other, and you're at the same time calmly just drinking your coffee at the back and just watching people just throw cake at each other. It's just, I think it's the same with NFTs. It's kind of like the same situation, like, people fighting, this, that, like, and just calm down for a second and see what's going on,
Yeah.
And yeah, all right. So let's actually, change the subject for a bit. And let me ask you like something kind of like, it's kind of like random and just a bit of a personal question, but what are like, what have been some of the most inspirational and your just most memorable franchises in both games and movies since you were a kid? Like what game franchises or movie franchises, basically entertainment franchises, have really had an impact on you?
Yeah, thanks for this question. Yeah, if we talk about game, last time I dive into the game more and more, and I really love how the team released Stray, for example. I love this vibe into the Stray. In some point, it inspired me. And if we talk about my childhood, I have a lot of experience with the game and the Skyrim. I know the Oblivion. This series of the Elder Scrolls was one of my favorite one. Morrowind, for example. Yeah, I know it's I the old one. Let's play this game. Of course, a lot of indie developers. I mean, indie who created the cool game. Like I know I can call indie who makes the Rust Survival. I'm not sure about that. I hope they will not mind if I say like that. But Rust Survival or any survival, I love this genre of the games. And if we talk about the films, I have the favorite director. It's Van Graffen, who is created Drive, and the last one, it was Too Old to Die Young. It was the masterpiece on my it was the for my eyes. It was literally like I enjoyed this this film. It's not film. It's a series of the films, and I love how he looks on the colors, how he make this composition and put all lightings there, and of course. Villeneuve is another one. Who is my favorite one. He created the Blade Runner and some stuff. Of course, Blade Runners. It's I think for everyone, it's like a inspiration, a lot of inspiration from the Blade Runner, from the first one, second also, and James Cameron. I should say thank you. Thanks for such amazing film like Terminators, because even recently, I think 1 week ago, I rewatched the Terminator second part. It was my favorite film from my childhood. Yeah, everything is built on this film in my life. I think so. Yes, and yeah. Of course, I love the. I won't say anime because I'm not a fan of anime, but I love the animation, and I love some anime, but animation like a film animation, like Akira, like Ghost in the Shell, like the Ghibli studio were doing. It's resources of inspiration, of course. Yeah, yeah, a lot of like things there, man. I think nothing special on my side. I think you heard it a lot of time. Yeah, everything is repeat. Yeah, like that.
And well, there's a couple other questions I wanted to ask you before we move on to the next subject, which is, tell me a little bit about your process of like making the bazaar piece and also the pit stop one on Unreal Engine. Which softwares did you use for each of them, and also like what was your 3D package? Like did you use just what suite of software did you use for it? And tell me a little bit about the pipeline that you use on those as well. And if there's any big takeaways and lessons you learned during making these, like when it comes to optimization or anything like that, that would be awesome if you share with us.
Yeah, of course. When I create, for example, if I make some assets for big, medium, small, or do for myself, doing for me, I use for the low poly or hard surface modeling 3ds Max. Still working into this 3D software. Yeah, of course, I use for the sculpting 3D code. It's one of my favorite 3D software. And for the render, I use Unreal Engine. And if we talk about the pit stop, it was I didn't have my powerful computer, and I was into the at that moment in different country, and I moved from one country in another, and I used my laptop, and of course I didn't have enough time to create something special, and I just put everything from the greebles and from the industrial zone into the scene, and trying just to find some interesting shapes and interesting stuff there, and combine everything together, bring some vertex particles, and just do it. Really, it takes around of 3-4 days to do everything and to create this video shoot, create this video. And if we talk about the Grand Bazaar, it's a little different, because in the Grand Bazaar, I was involved in the process and create some different stuff there, and I use a 3D code especially for this dishes and plate stuff. And probably you saw on my YouTube channel, I have the process how to create everything. Probably in the future, I create some tutorial how you do it, how to optimize everything, how you can sculpt and to make it low poly and bake everything. Yeah, I think yeah, like that. And the pipeline looks like that. If you need to create something, if I need to create some hard surface, and it should looks like with the neat line, I use 3ds Max for the sculpting, and for the create some more natural stuff, I use 3D code, everything optimizing and texturing in 3D code also. Even if I do some stuff in 3ds Max, I also use for texturing 3D code. And then I take other thing and move into Unreal, create my compositions, doing a blockout, and replace it into the assets and doing this stuff. The pipeline looks like that. Yeah.
All right. And also for everyone who's listening and just, are intrigued by the things we've talked about by now, there's the link to the YouTube channel in the captions as well. If you want to see scene overviews of like everything we talked about, and there's like, some like couple of tutorials, which if you go there and watch and like them and subscribe to the channel, you can motivate our guest today here to make more videos. So if you want that to happen, definitely go give it a subscribe. He's at 902 subscribers. Let's give it a push to go to 1,000, 1K. So for anyone who's listening, please do that. It's just a click. And all right. So the next question is, who are some of your favorite artists and designers that have inspired you the most?
I think when I started to do this concept art or concept design, Jama Jarabayev was who inspired me the most of them other ones, and I should mention it. And I love how he do the sketches, how he make this concepts for the films, and I was inspired. My inspiration was before Jama, it was like that. After him, it was like that. Yeah, and after that, I think still Jama is inspired me. Of course, we are friends right now, but anyway, I inspire him. He's an amazing guy, and if we talk about the CGI, it looks like that. And I have some, I'd say, inspiration. Like I said before, director like Denis Villeneuve. I like them. How I like them as an artist, also not like only like a director, because they have a good eye how to make a composition, working with lighting, with the camera, and I inspire also from that guys, from the Tarkovsky, for example. Tarkovsky is one of my favorite also director. I forget mentioned. It's really important. Yes. I think I just wanted to say that these directors which I mentioned before, they not only that I also wanted to mention them also like an artists, because I think in the root everything happened from the art. Yeah, like that.
All right. And any advice and tips for a good portfolio and resume for artists who want to get into a concept art role or concept designer, since that's the role you're working in, and also considering you kind of like in a really relatively good position when it comes to like in a studio like big medium smaller art director, if I'm not mistaken, which is really nice. And so I'm sure you probably have gone through and seen a lot of different portfolios, very junior, senior, and from different levels. But if you had to give some of your most important tips and advices, because we all know that we should curate our portfolios geared towards the studio that we want to work in. So we all know this stuff. But are there any specific things that you've learned throughout these years? Any interesting things you've seen?
You mean in this year or in the
past couple of years, just in general?
What I'm learning.
Yes, when it comes to working on a portfolio and and resume.
I see. I think I really I work hard with the Unreal, and I think I really improve my skills into Unreal Engine, because, for example, if we took the Dust, that's one of the projects which give me opportunity to, I would say it's not opportunity, because I think it was just, if you wanted to create something more than art, you need to know something about the technical issue. You should understand some more than just create some beautiful things. It should work. The people who is playing should be nervous when I trying to jump and everything is freezing. Yeah, and I think in the not only in this year but in the past few years, I really dived a lot into the technical stuff. I started to understand more into the blueprints, some more and more, and dive into Unreal technical issue. It was shaders, it was the vertex. Right now, I took the courses for the vertex into Unreal, and in the same time, I took the courses for the blueprints, and I wish to understand more and more there. Yeah. And I hope I show you there soon something more special. Yeah. Like that. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. And well, till now we've talked about a lot of arts related stuff. And now I want to ask you something else, which is what's other non-arts related stuff you got going on in your life or things you want to pursue? Like it could be learning a skill, it could be I'm doing anything, any non-related goals or hobbies you have going on.
I love take photos. I know it's also linked with art, but anyway, I love make photos, and I love to traveling. A lot of inspiration coming when I visit some different country with different culture. For example, we visited Morocco recently, and not recently. In the beginning this year, we visited Morocco, and so a lot of inspiration was there. And it's I try and do everything which inspire me and help me to express me, to be better into that what I'm doing, because my hobby and my job, they are doing they are really absolutely the same, let's say. And I just really wish to dive in different process, like an animation, vertex, or create some crazy procedural stuff. It makes me happy. So yeah.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, we've reached the final question and section of the podcast, which is called Time Capsule. And basically what I'm going to ask you now is, throughout your whole life, for as long as you remember, since you were a kid till now, till at this point, if you could tell anyone who's listening to this podcast and anyone who's going to listen to this podcast at any point of time in the future, what are some of the most valuable lessons and important lessons you've learned in your life by now? So you could tell us from one human being, which is yourself, to another human being that is listening to this podcast. What are some of the most valuable things you could tell them as an advice that you've learned in this life?
Yeah, I see. Unfortunately, in our life, everything depends. I mean, if you grow up into the family where your mother or father are saying what you should do, and every time trying to show you this is good, this is bad, it's really hard to push yourself. I'm happy I'm grow up in the family where everything was for me good. Not everything, but they are allowed me walking around. I know they allowed me almost everything, and I tried me in everything. And I should say just it's really important. Everything is linked with our time life, and if you do a lot of mistake while you in the process of this life, your timing is reduce. Yes, and I think in my life I trying to do every step was like, hey man, you should know that if you do like that, you should understand that it will looks like that. I just try to concentrate all of my brain and think, is it what I need and is it what I wish? So if it's not, I shouldn't be in there. Even they. Even it's give me a lot of money. I know it give me a lot of different, because if you're not happy with that, it doesn't make sense. Yes, so I just want to say, from the school, university, after the university, in the job, every step which you're doing, it should be with you should understand what you're doing, and it's really deep. It's really deep recommendation, and it's hard to me say, "Hey, man, don't afraid nothing and do what you wish." I couldn't say like that. So it's really important to understand what you're doing and what you love. If you love what you're doing, of course, it gives you a lot of profits and so on. So it's really important to understand. I know it's a good question, and it's in the same time is it deep to me. It's the reason why I cannot give a simple answer on this one. Yeah, it's a really good question. I think if it was if I could to answer it in the Russian, I would say it more correctly, efficiently. Yeah, cannot say. You can do it like that right now. Yeah.
Actually, that'll be interesting. You can say it in Russian right now. Of course, I'm not going to translate it or anything, but for any of your Russian listeners or any of the podcast Russian listeners, you can say that. Yeah.
I think it will be. It will be not good for the listeners who is listening into English, but I can do it in another podcast. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah,
and I think, if I have to, kind of derive some meaning from what you said, it would be like, try to be open-minded to any experiments or opportunities you have in life. So regardless whether you fail at it or not, because at the end of the day, these experiences will lead to self-discovery. And once you reach a good level of self-discovery, you can easily, find the direction that you want to, move your life towards. I guess that's basically it.
Yes, right? Yes, totally. But I mean, really, if you love what you're doing, I mean, probably your real life to be a doctor, for example, and you love to save lives, and you enjoy it. And I'm sure that you will be good in this discipline. And the same with everything. If you love art, you love history, and you love this. Art is really complicated things. It's one of the big. It's a big discipline. It's a huge thing, and you can separate it like a sculpture. You can separate it like a drawing, or some different things. It will be everything. It will be art. Yes, and if you love it and you enjoy it, if you love the process of creating something, I'm sure that you will be good in this discipline, and you give this say the life will be enjoyable. And for me, it's important, really important, to enjoy this life. And even when for example, if we go back to the previous question, you asked me what's your hobby, and I said, my hobby in my job and what I'm doing, everything is the same, and I really love it. Even from 10 years, in this process, in this discipline, and I still love it. Yes, it's important.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome, man. And all right, we've reached the end of this episode. And thank you so much for coming by and taking your time and coming out this episode. And thank you to anyone who tuned in and listened to this episode. By the way, where can people contact you if they had any questions? Is there an Instagram account, okay?
Sorry?
Where can people contact you if they had any questions? Is your Instagram account okay?
Yeah, of course. If you have some question, I have a lot of question in my direct, and I'm trying to answer for everyone, especially for Unreal. I have a lot of different questions. So if you're interested into that, let me know. I trying to my best. Yeah, sometimes I'm too busy, but anyway, I'm trying to involve some process. Yeah, and in the future, I will. I hope I do more tutorials and some stuff for Unreal, and I really wish to present big, medium, small assets. Like there are a lot of ability into these packs, so I wish to show what you can do with this. A lot of settings and blueprints which we're preparing for the customers. Yeah, I really wish to show it. Yeah.
All right. I think that's a wrap. And again, thank you so much for coming by. And thank you to anyone who
Thank you.
and listen to this episode. As always, if you have any comments, suggestions, or critiques, you can leave them down in the comment section down below, or you can just send it to me on the Instagram page of the Kouryer podcast. And with that being said, well, that's it. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Till next episode. Bye-bye.